MLG champion Naniwa.
Yes.
Or MLG runner-up.
Well, he won the MLG Global Invitational.
That's right. He was the champion of that event.
And the people he beat in that event were definitely, well, how do you say, worthy contenders or worthy opponents.
Worthy?
Worthy.
Nesty a worthy opponent?
One would say so.
MVP a worthy opponent?
I heard he's not bad either. I heard he had some recent success again. No, that was great. That was awesome, and it's awesome to see Nani play so good on Whirlwind. But man, the best of 3 ain't over yet. You know what it says, or you know what people normally say? It ain't over till the fat lady says so. I always say it ain't over till fat MrBitter says so. And Ben, it ain't over yet. Ain't that right?
I haven't said so yet, Kevin.
No. Actually, I don't even have to add. That's fat MrBitter. You're getting there, one burger at a time.
Man, this guy, I go to the gym every day.
Yes.
Kevin is like, seriously, like I think we need to get you formally diagnosed with anorexia because you just starve yourself.
Hey, don't make fun of my diet. My diet is good. Do not hate on my diet, man. You still, like, what's wrong with you today? You're hating on my diet. You think I stole your tie. Is there anything else you would like to throw out, Ben?
Speaking the truth.
But you did steal my tie.
No, that wasn't me.
And you don't have a diet. You just don't eat.
And that's a pretty good diet.
It's very dangerous.
You know how much weight I lost, man, in the last 2 months?
I can imagine. It's like...
What?
Well, I was going to make a very off-color joke, but then I bit my tongue.
Okay. Well, I have no idea where you want to go with that, but don't hate on me. Just because you're gaining weight and I'm losing weight, there's no reason for you to hate on me. I must say, actually, last week, Ben, I ate quite some stuff, and I think I gained some weight. I also had some drinking nights. Drinking nights are so bad. It's so weird because you feel like, oh, I didn't eat much today, so I can just have a few drinks. And then you stand on the weight scale the other day, he's like, oh, this thing is broken. You know, it's really funny because Todd the other day, Todd thought he didn't eat much for the last few days. Then he walked in my room. He was a bit moody. He's like, He steps on the scale. He looks at me. It's broken. And then he walked out of the room without saying anything. I was like, how much, Todd? How much? I love Johan Merlo.
He's a good guy. It's fun having him around. As Cloud Kingdom looks like it will be Forge, Expand, or Die Trying out of Naniwa. He's already got the cannon down, so he's playing it very, very safe here. Galaxy playing pretty standard Zerg. Pool into Hatchery, probably into Fast third Hatchery, if it's anything like our previous game. Now, how Galaxy will play the mid-game is pretty open-ended. I don't think Cloud Kingdom is as good of a Muta map.
No, nowhere near.
Said,
I think the way that Naniwa defended Mutas on Whirlwind, Ben, if I was a Zerg, I would never try to play Mutas against him on a map like Cloud Kingdom. There's just, I don't think that's any possible way.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, even if Cloud Kingdom were a Muta map, man, Naniwa seems to have no trouble dealing with it.
No, and we shouldn't forget that it's even easier on a map like this, not only to deal with the Mutas, because there's just basically if you shut down this area and you shut down this area, that there's not really all that much to worry about. It's also easier to defend against the links, because the natural and the third base are much closer to each other. You could potentially fully wall this off with some gates and cannons behind it, that this is all the ground area you have to worry about. So, in many ways, the previous map was so much better for the playstyle that Galaxy showed us, and I don't think Galaxy is going to try that again.
Anyways, being pretty aggressive with his scouting, wanted to confirm that the third base was down, and he does spot it, so he knows exactly what he's dealing with. What will his reaction to that be? We do see Pylon going down to the main base. Probably going to see some tech added to that here soon, as Nani tries to get back across the map with this scouting probe. I think he will make it home safe.
Guys, I got valuable information. Okay, what do you see? Oh, nothing. I just wanna my minutes. You won't die yet.
The difficult life of a probe, man.
Yeah, it is.
Behind enemy lines and back again to mine some.
You know,
minerals.
basically the life of probes is like the movie The Hunger Games. There are a bunch of probes, and one probe is sent on a mission. You're gonna scout. And out of all the scouting probes, only one probe will return. You might be that probe. Most likely you won't be. Oh man, the Hunger Games. I was so disappointed. You know, guys, I actually I heard a lot of fuss about the Hunger Games, and then I was at the airport and I saw the Hunger Games at the bookstore, and I was like, well, I could read a nice book on this trip. I don't know, I was probably flying from Los Angeles to Europe. So then I bought the book. I enter my flight. I see our on-flight entertainment agenda, basically, or like the options. I was like, hey, there's a movie called The Hunger Games. I look at the book. I look at my screen, I was like, no, I'll go for the movie. I'm feeling lazy. So I just bought the book, decided not to read the book, watched the movie instead, and was severely disappointed.
Kevin, if you want to ever know exactly what it's like to experience the literary version of the Hunger Games, you could head over to nasl.tv/p/audible, pick up your promotional code for your own audiobook, and you could download the Hunger Games and have it read to you.
But that would make me even more stupid, because I am still that person who bought the book and then never did anything with it. You know, Ben. Every now and then I wonder what I'm doing. Like every now and then I do read books. Anyways, when focusing on the game, we see Blinks being researched, of course, I pointed it out. +2 is on the way for Naniwa as well, and quite some gates. We have 5 gates and we are all being powered by this single pylon. And Naniwa is even going for the full wall of Ben, so Naniwa is really going to commit to this. A lot of links are in production. Still slow links though, but this is going to be hard for Naniwa to pull off.
6 gate Blink with +2 is at least the grand scheme here, but he doesn't have that many units out right now. If these pylons get shut down, Naniwa could be in some serious trouble.
I'm really quite worried already. Blink is not ready yet, so these stalkers are in a little bit of trouble. Fortunately, reinforcements are arriving, and this pylon will survive too, so Naniwa picks off a few links, but the economy is better for Galaxy already.
No, I think Naniwa is starting to piece it together. He's got all of a sudden 14 stalkers with Blink in a good position. Galaxy's going to have to get a couple waves of reinforcements before he's going to be able to engage this.
Link's coming in from behind as well. That might be one way. Wow, this hatch is really taking a lot of damage. His head will
that hatch is dead for sure.
If Naniwa decides to focus it, Naniwa rather keeps his pylons alive, which is definitely not a wrong choice. I love how he's bringing the probe with his army. It's so important to keep that probe alive as well, in case you need some reinforcements. Going to wipe in a few zealots now, Ben.
Yeah, those are just going to help him deal with the Zerglings. The Zealots do have +1. That's going to make these Lings very, very ineffective.
+2 even almost, but that's not ready yet. So far so good for Naniwa. He's still down in army supply though, so he has to be careful that he doesn't go super over-eager.
Galaxy still doesn't have enough to confront the army of Naniwa, Kevin. And if we look at the army supplies, they're almost identical, 51 to 46. This Protoss army is going to be a little bit more cost-effective right now.
And that is great. Wow, with all those links in on the map already before they started, I thought it was going to be good for Galaxy, but Naniwa making all the right choices.
And here he comes up into this natural expansion. That's still not enough to fight. Galaxy's going to try. Oh, Burrow is done. That is actually huge.
It's still +2 Blink Stalkers.
And Galaxy's going to send his drones. He's going to send his Lings. He's got more roaches that are going to be popping out right now. Naniwa might be overcommitted. Burrow, maybe the game changer right now. How many Stalkers have fallen? Can Galaxy possibly salvage this? More Stalkers going down. Naniwa a little bit overextended. Now he's up in the main base, a little bit trapped.
Oh, units coming into the low ground as well, trying to cut off these Stalkers, which are trying to get away. Naniwa lost most of his pylons as well. He still did a lot of damage. Galaxy is all the way down to 36 probes, so this might still be good for Naniwa, despite a small army advantage for Galaxy. Galaxy's economy is tripled, and Naniwa has much better tech.
Yeah, Naniwa, in spite of the fact that he may be overextended, maybe lost a lot.
I was very surprised to see him blink to the left side rather than to the right side, but I'm sure that he knows what he's doing, that he just tried to pick off as many probes as possible and felt that he would never die to a counterattack, because if he just felt he did a certain amount of damage, he would be fine, and I guess that's still going to be the case.
I think he's going to be fine, Kevin. He's got a great economy. He's got that tech that you were talking about. Galaxy's going to try for one counterattack, but there's sentries holding the line, and the Robo facility just finished, so Immortals will be chronoed out shortly. Here comes Galaxy with the attack, and yes, of course, immediately Force Field goes down. This cannon's going to fall, though. Galaxy will be able to pick off this +3 upgrade. That's going to be a little bit annoying for Naniwa, but he's not going to mind that much.
Exactly, it's annoying, but at the end of the day, he still has 2-0 Blink Stalkers against a Zerg player who only has 0-1 roaches. Passaging Lens is being researched, so that's of course a massive upgrade when you are playing against Blink Stalkers. But the Robo base going down as well. And Naniwa, Ben, he doesn't have to finish this on 2 bases. He can, but he also could get 2 Colossus out, go up to 3 bases, and then make a push, which is going to be close to impossible to deal with for Galaxy.
Small things, Kevin. Naniwa loses his forge at the front, rebuilds it in the back. This is such a petty little detail, but it does mean that he's not going to ever lose another upgrade while it's being researched. I love that. Little bitty things that that allow players to make good moves. So
immediately starts +3 again, so definitely does care a lot about it. Colossus is in production, Ben, but Naniwa so far not going up to 3 bases yet, but perhaps it's because he didn't have to. He didn't need to take an unnecessary risk where he could potentially be caught out of position because he wouldn't have enough units, because he's investing into tech and infrastructure, while he knew that he was ahead economically, so as long as he played it safe, he could still go up to 3 bases.
Now there's no observer out for Naniwa. That means that this burrowed Zergling will be able to deny this expansion for a little while, but cannon being warped in right beside him means that his stay on this Earth is going to be a short one.
Or on this kingdom.
Yes, on this asteroid hurtling through space.
You know what I read the other day, that scientists, or well, not really scientists, and more, I guess, like, how do you call people who are experts in the universe, who like look at telescopes all day? And
would be an astronomer.
Okay, that's one of those guys. Discovered a planet which is made for 70% out of diamonds.
Wow, it sounds like a
pretty expensive planet.
Sounds like a pretty expensive planet. I read the other day that they found a diamond field in Russia that will supply the world with its that'll satisfy the global demand for diamonds for 3,000 years.
Pretty big catch. Naniwa forgets to cancel one of these cannons, but he does cancel the other one, and of course he's still in great shape. Great force fields once more by Naniwa. Picks up 4 roaches. Ooh, there's still no observer with this army. Spire is in production as well. During all this, when Galaxy did go up to 75 pros, but there is still this moment where Naniwa is going to have +3, 3 Colossus most likely, then warps in a few more Blink Stalkers, and as long as he worries about counterattacks, he can march across the map, and that's going to be a march band like, I want to make a bad joke, but I can't do that. In any way, it's going to be a victory march.
Galaxy is up to about 170 supply. He's trying to muster something of an army. He does have infestors out as well. I don't think attacking is the right move, but I also don't think that not attacking is the right move. It's like he's in this just terrible position where really anything he does is wrong because Naniwa is so far ahead. You know,
man, what's funny is that I often watch you play CVP, and MrBitter is actually, you're quite good. I wouldn't say you're very good, man. Nah, just kidding. You're really not bad. Like, your mechanics are quite okay. You have a decent understanding of the matchup. But the position that Galaxy is in right now is a position that I always see you in. It's like, okay, Ben, this doesn't look bad, but something went wrong down the road because he is unbreakable, and then MrBitter keeps running around with this little Zerg army, and it's like, okay, if I don't attack, it's wrong, and if I attack, it's wrong as well. I've seen this so many times on your screen. I'm sorry, Ben.
I've played it out so many times. I can already tell you what the ending's going to be.
Angry MrBitter?
Or a sad Galaxy. As Galaxy is going to go ahead and get his 4th base up, but this inevitable push from Naniwa is fast approaching.
Yeah. Nani is so well positioned now with all these cannons. He's playing this very safe, but he knows, as I said before, he's going to get an army out across the map, and he knows that it's going to be simply impossible with the start that Galaxy had after losing so many drones, forcing out so many units, killing this hatchery, that it's just impossible for Galaxy to have Broodlords out. There's just no way. And how are you going to deal with this Protoss army, Ben? If the force fields are good from Naniwa, the blinks are good, positioning is reasonable, there's just no way for Galaxy to crush his army of Naniwa. It's
going to be incredibly, incredibly difficult. 10 Corruptors, man. Maybe if he can kill those Colossi.
Oh, that's a really bit of a ballsy blink, Naniwa, but he does land good force fields. He's going to need to deal with these Corruptors as well. Look how much damage these Corruptors take.
That's just a fantastic set of force fields. A great engagement for Naniwa. That went perfectly for him.
Did you see? Well, normally if Corruptors can just idle above these Stalker armies, but +3 against 0-0, actually looked like they took a lot of damage.
That's what happens when I make Corruptors, man.
Look at this Look at this wall of Naniban. The big wall of violence. The Great Wall. I wish I could say Great Wall in Swedish. Probably like, Yavla, heya, big wall. No, not like that.
One of these pylons will fall, and eventually Galaxy's going to be able to break through and start doing some real damage with this counterattack. He can't confront the army, so this is really his only option. But it's not a good option either, Kev, because there's just, it's an inevitable sort of a situation here. Naniwa is too big, he's too strong. He does too much damage with all these +3 Stalkers, with all these Colossi.
Force fields going down as well on the ramp. It's going to make it harder for those Roaches and Lynx to join in the fray. 1 Colossus does fall, Ben, but 2 Colossus remain, and that's really all that Naniwa needs. As long as those Colossus are alive, he's going to clean up their Lynx, and those Roaches will die to those +3 Stalkers.
Really, really well played game from Naniwa. Fantastically played series from Naniwa. And his run in the NASL is getting better and better each time he plays, Kev.
It's a little bit scary now, Ben, because he did lose his 3rd base. I actually thought that all those Lynx returned home because they didn't deal the damage they wanted to. But they took out that Nexus, but this army is still here. This army is still alive. Those Corruptors, look how quick they die. That's crazy.
Yep, Naniwa's got this one in the bag, I'm afraid. 63 army supply for our Zerg player. Almost 100 for Naniwa. Drops 1 force field on the ramp for good measure and cleans up the remainder
What a
of
series,
Galaxy's
man.
main.
Super,
GG gets
super
called.
clean play by Naniwa.
Yeah, it was
In both
so
games.
impressive, so impressive. Such a big difference from what we saw in his series against Nurture just like a week ago.
Yeah, but people also said that on the forums. It just seemed like Nurture got to his head. Naniwa tried to cut a corner, got punished, then he tried to play something else, got bailing busted. It was sort of unfortunate. This was more of like the real Naniwa that we've seen, that we know. And yes, he has struggled a lot against Zerk in the past, but the way that he played these 2 games, that's awesome. There's so much that almost any Protoss player can learn from this series.
Very, very well done. That last game brought to you guys by Squarespace. All the tools you need to build your own fantastic web page. We are running a special promotion for that software, and it's available for you at nasl.tv/p/Squarespace.
Were you surprised about how well that Stalker push did? Because I actually felt with, I don't think that Galaxy really overdroned. He was at 53 drones. He had quite some links out. Yes, speed wasn't ready yet. But normally when you have those links out, you're able to buy some time until the roaches pop. And as soon as you can start the fight immediately.
I think he did overdrone or underreact one. He just didn't have enough units out. I mean, by the time, if he'd killed the pylons like he initially tried to do, then it's a different situation. But once Naniwa was there with what army he had and with reinforcing pylons, I think that third base was kind of doomed.
Did you feel that I felt what was key as well is that Naniwa warped in 6-7 stalkers at home and he walked those across the map. Because sometimes you get in this weird situation where your first pylon gets delayed because those links are already there and you're waiting for the big warp in. And that also means that all the following warp ins are delayed.
That's a really great point.
Because Nani warped in those units at home, he was able to protect those immediately.
It seems like such a small detail, but that 7 stalkers, 30 suppliers, so would make that big of a difference. But it was a huge, huge difference, and Naniwa was able to use that to take out that third base, set himself up to take out that entire series. So great job, Naniwa. And now it's time for our next series. That next series is going to be Strelok versus Violet. A little bit of TVZ coming at you. Should be a lot of fun. Guys, don't go anywhere. More StarCraft 2 from the NASL.